Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice.
And today we're taking a look at the very first single character expansion for a Villainous game, and that is for Marvel Villainous, We Are Venom.
Yeah, so we are covering Venom in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I am so excited to dive into this as we add in another villainous character. So if that sounds like something you want to see, then just keep watching.
Alright, so if you are not familiar with Marvel Villainous, or Villainous for that matter, it is a head-to-head-to-head game where we are all playing as villains trying to live out our wildest dreams and tell the tale a little bit differently.
And we have covered this on this channel a bunch, so if you want to see like a lot about this, go back and watch those. But we covered the Loki expansion last year, and Marvel Villainous is different. How?
Yes, it mixes up a couple different things. So first of all, there's a lot more player interaction. So you have characters who are interacting with characters in other people's domains. You also have a central fate deck where you're going to be playing fate cards that are all coming from the Avengers, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and even some like global events that we have to go and fight together to stop these hindrances on our own decks.
Yeah, so, you can also play on other people's boards, which is different than other regular Villainous. And then along with that, you have a specialty section where you can add on those specialty cards, which they just kind of introduced in the Star Wars universe as well, that Villainous.
Yeah, with the ships.
Yeah, with the ships. But then we have specialty cards with here. But today we are talking about the new edition of We Are Venom. So I was not familiar. I had seen like just a picture of Venom, but I didn't know anything about his story. But I've been reading about it. We watched the movies. I'm familiar. Like he told me about the comics, got me up to speed. He's hilarious. Didn't know he was so funny.
Yeah, this new iteration in particular is very funny. Yeah.
And I think overview they did a great job with it. Just right off the bat, like I think they did a great job with the characterization of him in the Villainous deck.
Yeah, so let's talk about why. Alright, Venom's goal in this game is to essentially find Spider-Man and cover him in symbiote goop until he is completely taken over. So there are these symbiote tokens that are going to be added to their own allies, which are mostly going to be symbiotes. So you got people like Phage and Scream, and essentially they're going to like morph their symbiote by moving their tokens onto Spider-Man. Now, Spider-Man, what's really interesting is he can flip those tokens over to the Spider-Man side, and it's essentially the symbiote is like siding with him versus siding with Eddie Brock. And so he's kind of like, oh, this inner struggle. So there's kind of an interesting aspect there, I think. And there's some really cool things around how he defeats characters, how he vanquishes. His symbiotes don't really die very easily, so they can just shed some of their symbiote tokens to not get vanquished and discarded when they're used in combat, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, and since Venom is a sort of anti-hero, it's an optional card, but in the Fate deck you can have like the
Venom hero card.
Venom hero card that can attack him as well, which I thought that was
It's fun. Very cool, yeah. So the way the Venom hero card works is he jumps around people's domains. Anytime an ally is played, he decreases their strength by 1, which I thought was kind of cool.
So Venom is playing into the very much the... It does it several times in Villainous where you are trying to go through your Fate deck to be able to pull out Spider-Man because you need him to be able to defeat him. Kind of like an Yzma in Emperor's New Groove. You're looking for Cusco. It's kind of like the same idea with him. So there are different cards that can help you burn through that Fate deck. And there's cards if I pull out Spider-Man, let's say I'm playing Venom, and I pull out the card and I have to Fate Jonathan, there are cards that I can use to get Spider-Man off of Jonathan's board to come over into my board.
Yeah. So you can taunt him. You can go, let's go find Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. But overall, what do you think about the art, the components? Art
is beautiful, and we had when we covered Marvel Villainous before, we had talked about how the figurines, I thought that they seemed a lot cheaper, and they are like this plastic feeling. They just don't feel as grand and as nice as the traditional Villainous, but the Venom figurine is the same material that they use for Villainous, or very close at least.
He's awesome.
Yeah, it's like way higher quality. Like I don't know if it was because it was a single expansion, so there was more room in the budget.
It's more rubbery than plastically.
Yes, and it just feels more expensive. So it was nice, and like the figure you'll see right here is like when Venom in the movie comes out of his body and in the comics and like looks at Eddie Brock.
I'm thinking about all the video games like the Blob on the ground.
True. Yes. So it's that same idea. That's the figure, and so I think the figurine is great, and the art matches beautifully. in with the rest of Marvel Villainous, so I think it looks nice.
Yeah, it has a really cool, unique animation style. I think that they did a really good job with it. His event card, the global event with Carnage, that one's take it or leave it for me. It's just kind of, it's a minor hindrance, but yeah.
I would say it's a lot of tokens. That's my negative. I don't even know. It just is a lot of tokens on the board, and so with the symbiotes, it's like -1 to Peter, but then you can also Peter will put Spider-Man +1. So there's a lot of -1 +1 +1 -1, and then symbiotes on top because there's different cards. And then
with like 10 tokens.
You end up with a lot of tokens, and then like you're trying to do math. Be like, wait, how much health is even left on this character? So there's like different. You kind
of have to announce it. I felt like I had to tell you. By the way, I have 2 left.
Because if we were playing with 2, but I feel like if I was playing with a bunch of people, I'd be like, wait, how many? Because it just looks like a pile of black mess on top of it, which actually is kind of funny. Like the symbiote's just like attacking him with all of the goo on top. So
very realistic. But I felt like he was balanced too. So he won and lost in our game. So I felt like he fit into the universe well. He has some interesting locations because he's so dependent on fighting people. He has 3 actions on the bottom of every space and 1 on top, so he gets to do a lot more even when he's faded, so he doesn't really mind being faded as much.
Yeah, maybe it's because I'm more familiar with this character, but I just felt he was even more interesting than the last expansion. I had a lot of fun playing with him. Usually Marvel Villainous, I can take it or leave it. I usually prefer to play Disney Villainous, but I really liked playing Venom. I thought he was like a really good addition to the universe. Okay,
so what's like your favorite and maybe second favorite Marvel Villainous characters?
Ooh.
Does Venom make
I would say Venom would be my first one. Yeah.
You said you said you really
Venom
liked
I liked a lot. And then who else? One of the people in the first one. I liked Loki. Like, I thought he was good, but he's in the expansion.
Yeah.
And then who's one of the ones in... Oh, I like playing Thanos in the original.
Very nice. Yeah.
What about you?
I would say I really like Hela and Madame Mask, and then I really do like Venom. I think he's very good.
Cool. Let us know down below what's your current favorite and who would you like to see next in the Marvel Villainous. And I'm curious, why do you think they just did this one-off? Like, why not come out with a whole expansion? Why just one character?
I'm okay with it. I think because they've experimented with a lot of different models. You got the base game, then you got the 3 character packs that they did for a long time. They want to try out a single character pack, see how it does. I'm curious to see how many people buy it, like how many people bite for just one character. It is, of course, more expensive in terms of what you get for like one character. But I think that they did enough with it that it was still interesting. We'll see. I don't know. If they start making only single character packs, I'll probably be pretty bummed. But if they didn't have good ideas for 2 other characters, I'd rather have one really good character than like one character and like 2 garbage characters.
It was interesting because you can only play Venom with like the expansion or with the base game. It didn't really even have directions for the rest of a rule book. There wasn't a rule book. It was just like an ad in the inside, which I thought was interesting. And then we had talked about in the expansion with Loki, the base game, there was a picture of Loki on the last page, like an image, like an end credit scene. Wasn't there a photo, like a picture on
the back of the Loki one? I want to say it's Doc Ock. It's cartoonized, but I want to say it's Doc Ock.
It wasn't Venom.
So it was like Spider-Man universe, but I guess I expected Doc Ock, but
so I don't know.
Maybe Sony got to him.
So that is our review of We Are Venom. Overall, we think it is a great addition to the Marvel universe, and I think it's I think it's exciting for stuff to come, and it was interesting seeing the single pack. So overall, great job, designers.
Now this is like fresh off the press. Like it's just starting to come out places. Like I haven't even really seen it.
Super new.
Seen it in any stores. I saw it online at Atomic Empire had it. Card House had it. Miniature Market might have it by now. But just be patient. I think it's still coming to retail. I think we can expect to see it on Amazon and then maybe Target afterwards. But have not seen any official plans for that yet, so hopefully we'll see it soon. We'll
put links down below of where we can currently find it, and
we'll keep it updated.
It will go to the mass market hopefully very soon. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know whenever we put out a new video. And we'll see you next time.
Happy playing!